Dear people watching, before I start today, I want to put in this disclaimer. All I am going to say today is pure speculation, and my views and opinions of what happened to Charlie, and why I think it was Mortal Kombat Ultra's final exam to prove it works, and it was used again on December 23, 2025. To start my theory, I'm going to work backwards in time, and I'm going to start by what happened on December 23, 2025, in Wilmington, Delaware. On that day, a state trooper called Matthew Ty Snook was working overtime at the DMV in Wilmington. According to online rumors, Ty Snook was allegedly fixated on gang stalking conspiracies in the days leading up to the event. In the afternoon around 2, Ramon Rose enters the DMV like a normal customer. After entering the DMV, Ramon Rose quietly waits for his chance, acting like a normal customer. Then he sneaks up to Ty from behind while he was working at the front desk and shoots him in the back. Wounded, Ty turns around and pushes customers to safety before getting fatally shot. Ramon Rose then allows customers to leave before engaging with arriving police officers.
This morning, motive is still being looked into. We know that troopers say that the person who walked into this DMV that's behind us was 44 years old. We are told that he walked into this DMV as a customer and shot the trooper who was working an overtime assignment at the reception desk, according to investigators.
By the time everybody ran out, he was still pacing back and forth, looking through the windows, I don't know if he was trying to shoot inside or what he was doing.
Oh, shit. They can see him through the lead. They out here banging.
Suspect is in custody. Send EMS to the scene. Suspect down.
Now that's video from a live feed recorded from inside the DMV.
To me, him getting shot from outside the DMV through a privacy glass window is the clue that this could be part of a cover-up. The windows of the Wilmington DMV are made so that, if you're inside the building you can see outside, but if you are outside you cannot see inside. See? Look at the photos of the broken glass. Look at the hole in the window from outside. You can see inside through the hole, but you can see nothing inside where the window is still intact. Also, on all outside images of the building I have seen, the windows are all blacked out and you cannot see inside. So, how did the cop shoot him from outside if he couldn't see inside? There is footage of the police rushing in from outside towards the window, but you cannot see them taking the shot. You can only hear them. Now, the DMV has a live stream up each day on a website, so that you can check how busy the DMV is before you go there. That live stream, in my view, recorded the whole incident. This because there is footage of that live stream after the incident where you can see the hole in the window and police inside. Here is where the second clue of a conspiracy comes in. The website that hosts the DMV live stream is a website providing that live stream service for multiple DMVs in different places. However, according to my sources, the service has been down for maintenance since the incident. Are they hiding the footage so nobody can see what really happened? Where is that footage? Is there anybody out there that can find it? But to me, it is strange that the live stream service is down for all those DMVs for over a month now due to maintenance. What is happening with the evidence? Then, we arrive at the third clue of a conspiracy.
After 2 o'clock this afternoon at the DMV office off of Hessler Boulevard, when an active shooter was reported, law enforcement came rushing in. Witnesses reported that a state trooper was shot, execution style, inside.
Why was there such a massive police force arriving for an incident that happened very quickly and was over within minutes with the police call suspect in custody and down? Why is this massive police force arriving after everything happened? Were they there to cover it all up? What happened there? Was the suspect shot from outside through a hole created by gunshots from inside? And that is why all the broken glass is outside. But I do not understand that so much police arrived when it was already over. Sounds planned to me. A whole team came in to cover it all up.
Now, they say they came to the DMV this morning to kind of get some items that were left behind. I will tell you, while we are here, the DMV, they just replaced the broken glass that was here.
The window was already repaired the next morning, tampering with the crime scene afterwards and covering it all up. Where have we seen that before? Then we come to the biggest clue. Allegedly, gunman Ramon Rose was online known as Robert Kine. According to these rumors, Ty Snook was fixated on looking into gang stalking conspiracies in the days leading up to the shooting. But if the rumors are true, and Ramon Rose was online known as Robert Kine, then he was also posting about gang stalking conspiracies. Gang stalking is an organized group of people ganging up on somebody by group stalking and harassing them. This is used to apply pressure on people. Where have we seen that before? This amount of pressure of a group of people stalking and harassing one person could be used to push someone with no criminal history over the edge. And that's where Mortal Kombat Ultra comes into the picture. The goal of Mortal Kombat Ultra was how to get someone with no criminal record to commit a terrible crime without them knowing and remembering it. Now to me, gang stalking could be an ideal tool to pressure someone to their breaking point. Pound ideas into somebody's mind. If a group of people close to you all say it, you're more likely to start believing it. Once you have pushed a person past his breaking point, you then supply them with drugs with a story like, "This will ease your mind. This will take the edge off." Once under the influence, you then have full control of that person. You can then have them do something terrible without them knowing it or remembering it. Or you can also, instead of doing that, plant false memories into someone's brain. Things like, "You're going to die young," or "This is the path you should take," or "That country needs my support." Now, I think they tried this on Charlie by looking at how pressured he felt by donors and that he had no choice but to leave the Philadelphia cause. That he had always felt that he would die young and had a guru confirm that to him. To add to that fear, he always had security with him from very early on, even before he was popular. Add to that you have the fact that Charlie was molded from early on and had more and more people around him trying to steer him and TPUSA into a certain direction. I think they tried to break him, but he wouldn't budge. That's why he had to go, in my view. I think they tried Mortal Kombat Ultra tactics on him, but it didn't work. So here is where Tyler, or in my view a whole group of people involved include him Tyler, but I will get to that later on in the video, but Tyler comes into the picture. A 22-year-old super smart kid, with a 4.0 average, who has done nothing wrong in his life, as far as we know of. He gets a presidential $32,000 scholarship for 3 years or 8 semesters at Utah State University, a university highly connected to the CIA. Just as UVU is, by the way. He looks happy and amazed to get such a big scholarship, as you can see in the video. Nothing wrong so far.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
But in that first semester at Utah State University, something happens to Tyler. Because he went from happy to get a presidential scholarship and ready to go there, by the looks of it, to dropping out after 1 semester. That is a 180-degree turn in my view. What happened there at Utah State? Was it maybe gang stalking that caused him to bail out after 1 semester? Was that part of Project Mortal Kombat Ultra? To gang up on one person by gang stalking them? Pushing him over the edge? Making him drop out? Send his life into a spiral? Introduce Lance into his life? To coach him into madness? To supply the drugs to him without him expecting anything is going on? Was that the reason all those cars with license plates from different states were coming into his home? Were they people that were gang stalking him and pressuring him to cooperate with the plan? Was it all coordinated from above? To use him as a patsy? Him going from happy to go to college to dropping out after 1 semester is weird. Just like him being a person that has never done anything wrong in his life, to becoming a stone-cold killer sounds weird. Something must have happened that changed him during that first semester. I got a feeling that it was gang stalking by other students who were in the program and were shown what gang stalking can do with a person's mind. I think they were all used by the CIA as part of the Mortal Kombat Ultra project. I think Charlie was the final field test to show that they got it working. In my view, that is why there were so many military on the ground that day. That's why there were 12 cell phones from Philadelphia on the ground that day. That's why there was an Egyptian military plane on the ground that day. In my view, that is also why there was a backup shooter there to frame him if the experiment failed. That's why the gun doesn't match the damage done. It was a different gun, and it should have been a head or chest shot. But he missed and struck the neck. I think there was a second shooter on the roof below the roof where Tyler was allegedly on. I think they were working together and met up inside the entrance of the Losi building, explaining the 10-minute time gap in the timeline there. From inside the Losi building you can walk inside to a door that leads to the roof below the roof where Tyler was on. Also in my view, way more people are involved in this. The 2 military spotters who filmed the suspect on the roof. The 2 people standing next to Charlie giving signals. The spotter on the left in the crowd. The one asking the transgender question. Decoy boy, Zin. The one in the CCTV control room that in my view, could have had someone check the suspect out when he saw him coming limping, cutting across the grass in front of the Losi Center. They had enough time to warn someone. They are a suspect in my view of the conspiracy, too. Now to connect both cases. Case similarities. Both execution-style daytime events in front of a large number of people. Both just one target when there are lots of people there. Cameras present at both events. Both cases declared lone gunmen without help fast. Both cases have a shady official narrative. Both crime scenes were covered up fast by maintenance. Both victims had large stadium-style funerals. In both cases, people are acting weird afterwards. In Ty's case there was only praise, and he was a hero, but nobody is asking questions, or saying we are going to get to the bottom of this. Nobody is asking, why? Just another gun violence victim, nothing to see here. But everybody, like family, must be wondering why he was targeted. But nobody is asking questions. And the case has already been buried by the media, making the cover-up complete. You can find nothing else on the internet about this case. Only the official narrative, lone gunman. No help. Only a name, no motive. Nothing else is present. No video, just one short eyewitness report. And the official story. That's it. As we have seen on Candace her show, the Egyptian planes were connected to Wilmington to a hangar that was owned by Duncan Aviation that had a connection to the Farnsworth family. Stacey Sheridan's agent is in Wilmington. There is a FBI building in Wilmington. Brigitte Macron, lawyer, was connected to Wilmington. Candace, her lawyer for that case, was connected to Wilmington. The Wolves and Finance money trail partly leads back to Wilmington. Everything leads back to Wilmington. Now, if you know something about the history of Wilmington, you know the DuPont family played a big role in the development of Wilmington. DuPont, after fleeing France, built a massive gunpowder making mill on the river near Wilmington. That's where he made his fortune, selling gunpowder. Because there was not always war to profit from, DuPont expanded and built a fabric painting plant on the same river. Later, they became a chemical company that invented nylon, Teflon, and Kevlar for the military. Teflon was a scandal where the DuPont company knowingly and willingly poisoned us with Teflon just to make billions. They also dumped tons of Teflon into our rivers. And that is why now 99% of the world's population now has Teflon in their bodies. DuPont also has a high-security secret research center in Wilmington called DuPont Experimental Station. Since it all leads back to Wilmington, Candace was immediately distracted by Mitch to look somewhere else once she mentioned the Pierre phone call and connected the dots to Pierre DuPont. While everybody was focused on Mitch and Fort Huachuca, they eliminated a trooper that was allegedly fixated on gang stalking conspiracies in the days leading up to his death and was killed by a man that allegedly posted about gang stalking online. Did they use Mortal Kombat Ultra to eliminate Ty Snook because he was getting too close to the truth? That they are developing Mortal Kombat Ultra at the DuPont Experimental Center in Wilmington, and gang stalking is an activation tool. Did they distract everybody's attention to Fort Huachuca on purpose? To do it quietly and cover it up without anybody noticing? I heard nobody talking about this case. It has a weird official narrative and looks to me like a cover-up. Who knows if Ramon Rose even died in that hospital or if he was extracted? Because it sounds like he is waiting for them afterwards. They set up the scene so it looked like he got shot, but extracted him after the incident. That's why there was a whole army of police there afterwards. Easy to get him out by having him wear a police uniform and lead him into the mobile command center, and out he goes. Erase or alter the camera footage of the incident by shutting the service down fast and keeping it offline. Repairing the glass the next morning, covering up the crime scene. No motive and nothing known about the suspect, but they do know he acted alone and had no help. The question remains, why was Ty targeted like this? There must be a reason for that. And I think Ty was getting too close to uncovering gang stalking conspiracies as rumored. Those conspiracies could well have been connected to the Charlie Kirk case. That also lead us to Wilmington. I think Wilmington is the key to solving the Charlie Kirk case, and the DMV shooting in Wilmington is a good place to start research on what is happening in Wilmington. Because there were more suspicious deaths in Wilmington after September 10, 2025. A body found lying in the street 14 September. No definitive cause of death established. No missing persons reports present. And that's all that is known about it. Not even if it was a man or a woman. Then we have someone found shot in his own home, where there is no suspect or motive. A suspicious hit-and-run death of a woman from Dallas, Texas, where the brand, model, and color of the car was known, but nobody got arrested yet. And more, but it could all be unrelated. Weird facts, however, that in most cases, there is no suspect or motive.